All right, so some crazy stuff just happened in Brazil yesterday. They did their own January 6th on January 8th. So, um, it's sort of on the anniversary of Gen 6, but they kind of missed it. Yeah, this coup attempt was very, very half-ass, and it came a little bit late, and it seems like they just wanted to have their own moments, their own Jan 6 moments, and because like this this like whatever you want to call it, this it's not even a coup attempt because like this time they didn't even have like any real concrete goals they were trying to achieve. Like this time Lula had already been inaugurated. He was inaugurated on January 1st, 2023. So he was already president for several days. It's different from the American Jan 6, the original one, where yeah, it was never going to do anything. It was never actually going to lead to anything. But like at least they had this like at least they had a plan, right? At least they have a they're like this image in their mind, like theoretically, if we can stop the certification of the votes and because it was 14 days before the inauguration, so Trump was still president. They were like, "Oh, if we can storm Congress while they're doing this like kind of meaningless sort of gesture, right? Like maybe if we stop them in before they certify the election and then hold Congress people hostage and force them to change the results of the election, like theoretically like with enough like violence that could be achieved. But in this one, what happened in Brazil was really weird because yeah, Lula was already president, so like I don't know if they were just procrastinating, maybe they were waiting for their moment and they never came, so they were like, okay, well, we're already here in the capital. We might as well just go and have fun with it, right? Like maybe they were waiting for a signal from Bolsonaro, but Bolsonaro literally just didn't care. He was like, "Yeah, whatever. I lost. I'm going to go hang out in Florida, just wander around, sleep in his minion's bed, and catch like all the new strains of COVID that are circulating around Florida that nobody even knows about yet, because like nobody's keeping track down in Florida, right? Of all the different variants that are going on. For all we know, there could be a whole new Florida variants of COVID right now. So we will talk about Bolsonaro a little bit later. But for now, let's just watch as these Brazilian hogs do their shit. Now, this does look like a lot of people. I don't know if this looks like this might be in the tens of thousands. The total amount of supporters like in the capital. It's not just the ones that are storming. They're like marching down the streets. Never actually seen Brazil's capital before. It's called Brasilia. At first, I thought like Brasilia was like a nickname for Brazil, like kind of like Britannia is a nickname for Britain. Um, but no, it's the capital of Brazil is Brasilia. So let's see what's going on. Viva Brasilia! Yeah, woo! Where are they going? Yeah, so just like January 6th, a lot of people treated it as like a photo op, a media event, which fair enough. It kind of is. Like, what you're not going there to actually accomplish anything. It's all just like for show, especially this one, right? Because apparently this happened on a Sunday, right? Today's Monday. It's happened on a Sunday. Nobody was even in these buildings, right? All the lawmakers were vacated for today. Lula was not even in the capital. He was off doing some other presidential stuff because like he was already president, right? For a while. He's a busy man. So he is elsewhere. There is no important people to take hostage. At least like on January 6th, there were like theoretically hostages could be taken if they forced their way in. Oh, and I don't think anyone died here. was like 5 people that died on January 6th, and like plus 2 suicides. I guess we'll see if there are any suicides. Possibly there could be, but yeah, there was a lot of violence on January 6th. Of course, it's not just the deaths. Like, hundreds of police officers were injured to varying degrees. Some got broken bones, got bruises. Here I saw videos of like cops pepper spraying protesters. Let's see. Okay, here we go. So there's some riot police over here. At least 300 people have been arrested in Brazil after thousands of residents throwing lines. They're firing tear gas. I don't think they're firing anything else. Yeah, that's a tear gas canister. Reminiscent of the Jan6 insurrection at the U.S. Capitol. Ooh, they're sending in the cavalry. The cavalry's coming with their extra long batons to bonk those dudes. Guessing there are helicopters. Apparently they were dropping helicopters. I mean, they were dropping helicopters. They were dropping tear gas from the helicopters, which... There's at least one. Wait, hold on. They punctured a massive painting in 5 places. Why would you do that? Literally, I guess these guys are just angry, right? They're just like really mad, and they're just like, they just gotta take out their anger on something, right? And like, since there are no people here except for like cops that they can actually attack, right? And they're, at least these people have to pretend that they're pro-police, right? Yeah, it's like they're not here to actually accomplish anything, again, because like of the reasons I already stated, right? Lula's already president. Nobody's there to take hostage, right? And it seems like the Brazilian military is very well prepared for this. Seemed like, yeah, there were some police officers, even federal police, that were on their side, but not the military. No. Again, like, Lula's already president, right? The military is going to support the presidents unless there's some like massive arrest. Yeah, and the original Jan6, Trump was still in power, and he sort of like allowed Jan6 to happen for hours. People were waiting for the president to call in the National Guard, like National Guard of the state National Guard of several states around DC were already mobilized. They were just waiting for the order to come in, but Trump just would not give the order. Like, I don't know if like they were calling him and he just wasn't picking up the phone. He was just like, nah, just let it burn, as he's just sitting on his couch just watching it happen on TV. Like, yes, let it all burn down. Yeah, this is what they get for being so mean and unfair to me. It's not fair. It's not fair. Yeah, and apparently they had to ask Pence for permission, because as vice president, he does have the power, apparently. Well, like, he never has to use it, because normally the presidents would have to do that, right? This is like another example of like how like crazy everything is, that like things are happening that like nobody ever thought would ever happen. So like our institutions are unprepared to handle like bullshit of this nature and this degree, right? Like nobody ever thought like Trump would actually become president. So they thought like, they thought like politics could be run on like gentlemen's agreements, right? Like it's not a concrete rule that presidents have to do this, that, but it doesn't have to be, because anyone who is able to become president will be decent enough to do these things. Kind of like how it was a gentleman's agreement for a long time that like presidents will not run for more than 2 terms, right? It was only until like FDR won 4 terms that they had to like encode that into law, right? But that's different because FDR actually won elections by a lot because he was popular. Trump, you know, won one election on a technicality, and then lost, lost big time. Um, and he did just like so much crazy shit that like we're like there are going to be like so many laws passed because of Trump to like make sure that nobody is able to do the shit that he was able to. In a way, like it's the silver lining of the Trump presidency is that like he gave the game away, right? He gave up like, oh, we're going, this is what like the fascists want to do with our country, and he was stupid enough to like say the quiet part out loud. Then he was incompetent enough to like fumble the ball when it really mattered, right? He didn't actually plan an actual coup. It was just Jan 6 was just like a last ditch attempt to use like physical violence to like force your result that you want, but like it was too late by then. Um, so yeah, so yeah, if Trump was actually competent enough to like get a second term in office, then that would be actually scary. But luckily, he's just so like repulsive and just like unlikable and just stupid and dumb and like lazy and incompetent that he exposed the far right for what it is and then just dipped and then just like wasn't able to follow through on it. So maybe there will be a more competent put together fascist movement in America in the coming years. But Trumpism as it is taking a lot of big L's recently. Anyways, let's get back to, oh right, they punctured a painting in 5 places, just stabbing a painting. I wonder if like if they didn't like the guy in the painting or something. Overturned at the U-shaped table at which the Supreme Court justices intervened. No, not the Supreme Court. Ripped a door off of one justice's office and vandalized an iconic statue. Literally just ripping doors off of hinges. Yeah, this is just like literally just throwing a temper tantrum, right? Vandalize an iconic statue. How could they? Throwing police barricade. Brazil's Justice Minister Flavio Dino. Oh, that's like a dino king. The acts amounted to terrorism and coup mongering. I'd say terrorism. Yeah, terrorism like is actually a more broad term than people it as. Terrorism is like using violence to try to affect some kind of political change, right? It doesn't mean like bombings, doesn't mean killings or like necessarily. It just means it's violence. And yeah, this amounts to like, yeah, terrorism by like the technical legal definition. Authorities have begun tracking those who paid for the buses that transported protesters to the capital. Yeah, so this is something that the Brazilian government is doing a lot better than the American government. In America, like, it took months to like track down all the people who were filmed. Either they took videos of themselves and like live streamed it, or like they were on other videos. A lot of them were just like allowed to go home, right? Because I don't know, they weren't arrested in time. There wasn't like a big enough security clampdown, even though there should have been. There were National Guard members there, right? I guess there was no proof. Like they had plausible deniability, like, oh, officer, I was just here to protest. Like, don't have like my First Amendment right to protest. And here in Brazil, they're like, no, you don't have that right. You illegally entered this property. And oh yeah, they're going after the people who paid for buses to transport these people. In America, that did not happen at all. No, it should have happened. I heard that Charlie Kirk even like paid for buses to be. Imagine if Charlie Kirk got arrested. Oh, that would be so sick. Oh, the memes. Mwah. I guess we got Alex Jones. Yeah. Yeah. Lula said we're going to go after the financial backers. Going far beyond. Yeah, hundreds of people already arrested, and this happened yesterday. Yeah, it took several weeks at least. Hundreds of people to get arrested in the States. Okay, here's some. Yo. Yep, they're all just like got their phones out. Like, oh, there's some graffiti, but like, they're all just like taking selfies. Oh, there's one guy with a mask. Okay, yeah. Yeah, these guys are just like so dumb, they don't even think to like cover their faces, the mask, so that it's like harder to identify who they are, right? You'd think like that would be like step one of like doing crimes, trying to conceal your identity while doing them. But like, yeah, these guys think that they're entitled to do this because like for their whole lives the institutions have worked in their favor, and all of a sudden now that like they can't get everything that they want, they think that they're entitled to like demand what they want, so they don't think that they're doing anything wrong, which yeah, so they're firing tear gas at the protesters, are throwing it back, they're all running into the building. I bet yeah, they're LARPing big time. And just throwing tear canisters. Oh, that guy kicked a canister. Not very far. And then big group of riot control. You guys tore down the fence and they're just sitting there now. They're like, so what do we do now? So we got here, they're standing around. Oh, they all got their flag drip, their Brazilian merch. There's the helicopter. Apparently they were dropping tear gas canisters out of there, which is just kind of funny. What if that fell on someone's head? Could that actually, like, hurt them? Probably. And these riot police are just standing by. Yeah, ooh, that's a big police vehicle. Yeah, send them in, just like floor it right into the crowd. Oh, these guys getting arrested. Oh, whoa, did they get hit? What the? Okay, they're getting arrested. Oh man. Yeah, we did not see this kind of shit happen on Gen 6. Imagine. Send the dogs after them. Send in the dogs. Oh, this guy's dual wielding flame extinguishers. Oh wow, just like all these windows are broken. Just all the windows that could wait, hold on, the top windows are totally fine. They couldn't even get the top windows. I guess that would require extra effort, but I think that's funny. Like, because they're just too freaking lazy to reach the glass up here. They could have if they tried. They could have thrown something there. Oh, these guys are so sad. Hey, look, they're just sending them to the clown car. They're gonna fit all of those guys in the clown car. Nice. Oof, is this the painting that they got? Yeah, because they're cutting out the eyes of this. This Lula? Actually, Lula was president 2 times before, so maybe there are paintings of him. Right? Yep, and apparently, back on November 23rd, Bannon was trying to instigate a coup in Brazil, because Bannon is a real ideologue, right? He's a committed fascist. If there's anyone who's actually like the CEO of fascism, it's not Trump. Trump is just a narcissist who used the latent fascist movement in America, like, for his own popularity. Steve Bannon is like an actual, like, yes, we must return to tradition, and this is how we're gonna do it, by radicalizing incel gamers all around the world. Bannon tells them their election was stolen and praises people protesting in the streets. It's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out. It is very interesting. I'll give him that. It has been very interesting watching what's going on. He's incited 2 insurrections now that we know of. How is Brazil going to prosecute and sanction him? If anyone going to, it's going to be America. Wasn't he arrested on like wire fraud or like some kind of fraud? Oh right, he did the charity scandal where he like was like, hey, donate to me and I'll help complete the border wall, which like so dumb. Even if yeah, apparently he got like billions of dollars though. That yeah, what's happening with that? I heard he was like arrested but not convicted yet. Brazil is evangelism, not coup attempt.
2 years later. And this entire thing was planned in the United States, mostly in Florida.
Oh yeah, because yeah, Bolsonaro is hanging out in Florida. We'll get to that.
From what reports are saying, right? A lot of people are looking at this as just another failed coup attempt. It is not a failed coup attempt. It is evangelism.
Evangelism?
So you know ex-evangelicals have said that evangelism isn't so much as recruiting other people into evangelism.
No, it's not about that at all.
It is keeping the people that are evangelizing isolated. Because there's a sense of bonding that comes from being rejected and being cast out. The exact same thing,
they are.
The exact same logic needs
They're
to
the
be
jokers.
To these coup attempts.
The Joker
Many of
Club.
the organizers know that these coup attempts are going to fail. But what they know is that whatever they experience on the day, or whatever they experience from the government, will strengthen their base and will strengthen their resolve and make it easier for them to organize on the ground. Brazil right now is going through everything that the United States went through.
Good way of putting it, yeah. If evangelicals don't try to like recruit other people because like more about isolating those who are already in your ranks so that they can't leave because they think they have enough. Well, they just barely have enough to like be a big political bloc. I mean, they barely don't have enough to like win elections. Like what, 30% of the country or something? Yeah. Because what do evangelicals offer to those who are not already indoctrinated into like the cult of like organized religion, right? Like if you listen to like a religious person talk about religion, it's like totally like incoherent if you're not already like inclined to be religious somehow. Ironically, yeah, you actually get there oftentimes by being groomed by your parents. Like that's actual grooming, by like being told from the time you can understand language that like God is watching you, God is going to judge every action and thought that you have, and he's going to send you to hell if you don't have to believe this. You have to believe everything that's in the Bible because like God, it's the word of God, even though it was written by humans, by several different humans all across history, right? That's actual grooming. Oh, and this is another funny way that this coup attempt was inspired by what happened in America. Can I copy your homework? Yeah, just change it up a bit so it doesn't look obvious that you copied. The original, the based QAnon shaman, the best looking of the insurrectionists, right? Like, apparently this guy is like a failed actor, like a lot of right-wing influencers are failed. Like they just couldn't cut it in the entertainment industry, and they thought like, oh, it's not because I'm bad, it's because all these woke leftists control the media and they don't like me. Oh well, you're just not likable. Anyway, this is there's a reason this guy was like, yeah, he's an actor, but he's also got the drip. Yeah, I don't know if this is a coon skin cap, if this is raccoon skin or something. Anyway, he's got the tattoos too. This guy. Look at this dude. Honestly, yeah, a lot of effort went into this as well. He doesn't have tattoos, but he's got the face paint and the body paint. His headdress looks like a lot of more effort went into it. I'm not sure if I like it more, but it definitely A for effort, right? He's got the horns. That's the big thing, right? Is the horns. Yeah, at that point, yeah, you're sealing his look for sure. But like the feather headdress and like, look at these. These are like This is like stuffed animal material. What is this? Is this like a leopard tail? Wait, are these rubber bands? He's attached to the horns with rubber bands. Yeah. An A for effort. This is a like an advanced arts and crafts project right here. Yeah, I wonder if he. There's no way this guy did all this himself, right? He had to like buy stuff for this. Got the yellow and green feathers. Nice touch. Yellow and green is the colors of Brazil. Yeah, this guy doesn't have the body paint. It was impressive enough that this guy was shirtless though. That's like January 6th, Washington D.C. It's pretty cool. I think I like the Q Shaman's face paint, right? Yeah, the face paint that he does have is better than. Yeah, this looks kind of like amateur, right? Got some rough edges here. This is like more professional, I think. Yeah. We have QAnon Shaman at home. The Q Shaman at home. Yeah, this guy. The K. The Q Shaman. The K Shaman. Yeah, what is happening? There was an Italian version of this. I don't... Yeah, this is just lazy. This is like... You're literally just stealing his look. Here, like... Because you got the same hat as he does, but like lower quality. Right? The same like... Coonskin cap. Yeah, this guy is barely even trying, right? Yeah, what is this? Is this guy also into like mysticism shit or whatever? Yeah. It's And when did this happen? Like, didn't the fascist president win in Brazil recently? The fascist like world boss prez? Maybe this guy was doing a victory lap there, right? This guy's selling cotton candy at the Brazil interaction. Yeah, you gotta respect the hustle. This guy's on his grind. He's like, hey, I'm just trying to make some money out here. Just like the black kids who are like selling Trump merch at the, not just at Jan6, but like at all Trump events. They were like, so they were some interviewer went up to them and was like, hey, you like Trump? And they were like, don't talk to me, man. Do not talk to me. I'm just here to make money. Don't show my face. I do not want to be filmed. They had actually wearing masks for them will probably be a minus for them anyways. At least 400 Bolsonaro supporters arrested already. This was yesterday, so I think it's over 1,000 people arrested by now. For like 1,200. Bum 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 criminosos de Pradam Congreso. Yes, criminosos indeed. Planto e STF. Yeah, they're being led to the clown car, as in the armored prisoner transport. So that's nice to see. Then yes, Lula says we will not rest until we discover who is responsible and who financed everything that happened in this country. Yeah, because like the guys on the ground, they were just pawns, right? They're just being used by the people who like are just looking for the best political angle, right? These guys are true believers. They're just being manipulated. Doesn't mean that they should be forgiven, but like we gotta go after the people who are, you know, in charge here, right? Because in America we did not do that, and there's still a problem as we. Then there are Antifa Lula thugs dressed in Bolsonaro. Oh yeah, all those tens of thousands of of people are just Antifa undercover ops. They're either Antifa or they're FBI, like Fed undercover agitators, right? It's like, you know, you're coping when like you're grouping in Antifa and the FBI, right, into one group, like oh yeah. Like, oh yeah, the Antifa is like supported by the FBI, right? Because like they're both simping for the Democrat Party. Yeah, the number one export of the US is hogs. America, as the global empire that it is, we just export all our homegrown brain rot to the rest of the world. Especially like in other countries like Brazil. Brazil is like the America of South America, I guess. Nations with like very large like white supremacist or like fascist movements, they really get their inspiration from America. So it really is nice to see that America is supporting Lula's government and condemning this. Could you imagine the shit we'd have to deal with if Trump was still president right now? Never let anyone tell you voting doesn't change anything, okay? Because like if you think that there wouldn't be any difference between what we have now and the second Trump presidential term, you're lost. You're just like not plugged into politics at all. You don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, in conclusion, who word better? In conclusion, yeah, the people we gotta go after, if there's one person who should be arrested or like held accountable in some way, it's Steve Bannon. He's like the ideological thought leader of the far right, the global far right at this point, right? Anyways, yeah, we'll see how things turn out. Yeah, all these far right, all these like mostly men, right? These and mostly white too. These conservative white men have been taking a lot of L's recently. With there's Donald Trump, Andrew Tate, being arrested. Apparently, he's also in the hospital. Oh my gosh, we didn't even talk about Bolsonaro. Yeah, Bolsonaro is like constantly. He is the most hospitalized man in the world, right? Because he's had COVID like at least 5 times. He just keeps catching COVID and all these other weird diseases. Apparently, like at some point, his leg was rotting off because like he got some like flesh-eating bacterial infection somehow. Like, how are you the president of Brazil and like always? I guess that means he gets around, but like still, are you just like touching everything and just like constantly just like all right, he was literally full of shit. That was the funniest one. Like there was some like intestinal blockage and like he could not shit, so the shit was just building up inside of him, and like they had to extract the shit like out of his nose through a tube. It's like yeah, literally full of shit. So yeah, and now yeah, he's just hanging out in Florida while all this is happening, just like just like devouring a plate of KFC. Is he alone? Well, someone else is sitting at this table, I guess, but like yeah, I was gonna go over this, but let's just look at just wandering around a Publix. I guess that's like a Floridian supermarket. He's not even buying anything. He's just like hands in his pockets, just like, oh yes, this is a nice place. Yeah, love it here. Just love America, don't you? Thumbs up. Yeah. Oh, I love it here in America. Yeah, he's always just like being hospitalized. And then, having fled Brazil on the advice of his lawyers. Oh right, because they were like, Yeah, you're in trouble, Bolsey boy. So if you stay in Brazil, you might have to actually face some consequences. But they're like, there's no way America's gonna do anything to you, right? Apparently, there are some talks of like extraditing Bolsonaro to Brazil, which, if that were to happen, that would be really funny. Unfortunately, there's like the same thing with Trump, where it's like he has like a rabid fan base that's large enough to like to do actual damage if they were mad enough, like they could like start riots or whatever. But like their leaders did like actual crimes, right? So maybe if Bolsonaro gets prosecuted, that would empower American prosecutors to try take a stab at Trump, right? Guess we'll see. Anyways, having fled Brazil on the advice of his lawyers, soon to be ex-president. This was on December 21st, right before the inauguration. He is seeing in the new year at the Orlando home of former UFC fighter Jose Aldo. One of Aldo's bedrooms is Minion themed. That's funny. So, yeah, just always like in a hospital. Yeah, God keeps trying to kill this motherfucker, but he's like, no, man, I'm staying alive. I'm staying alive just to spite God. And yeah. Oh yeah, apparently, yeah, his wife stayed behind in Brazil. He's a wife guy. My wife, yeah. Or he's a divorced dad kind of guy. Yeah. Another victim of divorce court. Yeah, there's like so many like far right leaders are just like miserable people, men mostly, right? Miserable dudes who like can't get. Oh right, Logan Paul is like the other white taking a lot of L, right? So it's funny just think of like Bolsonaro just like sitting in his bed like sick in like at least 3 different ways, just like scrolling Twitter, seeing like, am I president now, or like what's going on? I don't think he expected to be reinstated, but like he's just like, how is this looking optics wise? I don't think he's gonna be happy with what happened. Anyways, yeah, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully, this is a sign of this is like the last gasps of like the fascist movements all across the world, because yeah, it's scary to see all these like rising authoritarian movements all around the world, and reassuring to see them fail in such spectacular ways. Hopefully this is just like last gasps of the movements and not like a precursor of what's to come, right? Maybe they're just figuring shit out right now, and later they'll like get their shit together at some point and actually like accomplish something with violence. But yeah, it's, don't worry about it, right? You just gotta like point and laugh at them while you can. Yeah. I'm going to try to play Pokemon Violet on stream. Just bought a capture card, so yeah, that'll be fun. So, see you there.